What is going on, guys? Today is the first day of the Season 1 launch for Black Ops Cold War's integration with Warzone. There was a ton of weapon balancing that also came out, so we're going to go over that and how it affects all the guns and kind of my opinion on how it's going to affect the gun in Warzone more specifically. So we have a lot of stuff to cover today. Let's dive kind of right into it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read off the patch note and I'm going to give you the exact number on how it actually changed the weapon, as well as go over kind of our updated spreadsheet in Excel. If you haven't seen those two videos, I did a detailed analysis about the assault rifles and the SMGs, and I'll put them both above me right here. Anyways, let's get started, guys. So first of all, the AK-47 had a reduced headshot multiplier. This is likely because with the addition, and it also nerfed the damage for the 20-inch Spetsnaz RPK barrel. I think they did this because with the integration of Warzone, those damage multipliers and those headshot multipliers are going to be dramatically different whenever you add, 150 health to 250 health in Warzone. So what I'm thinking is that the AK-47 is a 7-shot kill in Warzone now, but I'm assuming that they didn't want it to be like a 5 or a 6, shot kill with the headshots. And then with the reduced damage on the RPK barrel, same thing. I think it would be like a 4 to 5 shot kill if you get a headshot, but now it's just going to be 6. And then no headshots is going to be 7. Moving on to the Krig, reduced headshot multiplier. Honestly, I think this gun is already the worst assault rifle, despite popular belief. You will see that in the video that I talked about earlier where I went over all the assault rifles. It already has a very low time to kill, and decreasing the headshot multiplier is just going to make this gun even worse. I understand that the gun is very accurate. I think it's comparable to something like the M13 in Warzone from Modern Warfare. Is that, it's a very accurate gun, but it's very weak and has a very low time to kill. I mean, high time to kill. It's going to take longer to kill people. And then the FFAR1, you have increased damage range. We increased the damage range from 25.4 meters to 38.1 meters, making it more compatible with the other assault rifles. They nerfed the crap out of this gun about 1 to 2 weeks into launch, and I think that it was kind of a mistake. It was a very good gun, but I didn't think it needed that significant of a nerf. They also reduced the horizontal recoil from 210 to 180. And let's take a look at that change now. Alright, so we are in Black Ops Cold War multiplayer. As you can see, we are using an FFAR1 with no attachments. We are 15 meters away, and let's see how the recoil has been changed. So you can see here, it's still terrible recoil pattern. It's way too high, it's way too wide, but I think it's a little bit better. This doesn't swing as right as it used to. I'm going to show you, the recoil pattern before and what it is now. So you can see here the recoil is quite a bit better with the update. This is the updated one on the right and the pre-patch recoil pattern on the left here. It doesn't swing as far right at all. It actually stays inside the arrow here pretty well. You can also see that it might actually have nerfed the vertical recoil just a little bit as well. But if you look at kind of how it looks compared to the other recoil patterns of the assault rifles, it's still not very good. I think it just swings, up high a little bit too much for how much horizontal recoil it has, make it very hard to control. When looking at its time to kill with its new effective damage range of 38.1 meters, we can see here that this is going to help a lot over distance, but because of its bad recoil, it's going to be kind of hard to hit shots above this distance, above 20 meters anyway. But just for the sake of things, if we look at the time to kill for all of the assault rifles, you can see that the FFAR right here is superior until 35 meters if you're hitting with 100% accuracy. But like I said, with that recoil pattern, it's kind of hard to do so. But I am going to provide a gunsmith loadout for the FFAR1 right now and see how, if we can fix this recoil and control it. Alright, so we're hopped back into a custom game here. I added the SOCOM Eliminator, the 20.3-inch takedown barrel, the Field Agent grip, the Serpent wrap, and the Raider stock. This is kind of the build that I would use for multiplayer with this gun. And we're 15 meters away once again. And that's very controllable. I like this gun a lot more in multiplayer once again. I think it's competitive with the other assault rifles. I still think the AK-47 is the meta just because of its time to kill and its accuracy. But this one, inside 25 meters, I would like to use this gun every day. So let's move on to the patch notes. So the changes to submachine guns here, we only see changes in the effective damage range of the Milano, the KSP, and the Bullfrog. For the Milano, the effective damage range went from 12.7 to 15.24. For the KSP, it went from 11.43 to 15.24. And for the Bullfrog, the effective damage range did not change, but the time to kill kind of slope changed a little bit, and I will show you that in a second. Alright, so when looking at the time to kill for the Milano, all it did is it increased the effective damage range, so instead of dropping right here at 10 meters, it drops right here at 15 meters. The same thing for the KSP, instead of dropping dramatically at 10 meters because it's a it's a burst gun, going from one burst to two bursts to kill, that first burst is going to kill people a little bit further out. For the Bullfrog, it didn't change the effective damage range at all, but it changed how it drops off. So for submachine guns, there's two drop-off points, unlike the assault rifles where there's just one drop-off point. On the submachine gun, the Bullfrog here, it drops off once, it has a step, and it drops off again. Before the patch, it would just go straight down here. So before the patch, it would look like this. And then after the patch, it now looks like this. So there's that little step here. Whenever you look at the SMG TT graph for time to kill graph for all of the submachine guns, it's here. So there's a big cluster right here, making them kind of even almost, like just kind of more like personal preference between about 10 and 30 meters. However, even with all this being said, I think that the AK-74U, this yellow line, is still king just because of those effective damage range attachments that make this line go straight flat across all the way down. And it's still very accurate. So I think in multiplayer and in Warzone, the submachine gun to use is going to be the AK-74U from Black Ops Cold War or the MP5 from Modern Warfare. So let's look back at the... Alright, going back to the patch notes here, there's a lot of nerfs around the burst assault rifles, the M16 and the AUG in Black Ops Cold War. So the M16 reduced maximum effective damage rate and reduced the fire rate. The effective damage rate is now 21.59 meters, and the fire rate is now only 909 rounds per minute. The effective damage range on the AUG is now 30.48 meters, and the fire rate is 857 rounds per minute. I think the better burst rifle of the two is going to be the AUG, and I think this is going to be one of the most used guns, kind of like one of the many metas in Warzone. I think is going to be the AUG, even after this nerf here. They also reduced the damage to the 9.8-inch task force barrel. I think it's going to kind of be a similar situation to the AK-47, and they nerfed it down just so you're not like 1.5 bursting people in Warzone. But these guns are still going to be a 2-burst kill in Warzone. That's huge. And I think it's like 5 shots, so it's kind of like a burst and then 2 bullets from the second burst. So even if you miss a little bit, that is huge in Warzone. Light machine guns, the M60 now has a 600 millisecond ADS speed, similar to the assault rifles, which is at 300 milliseconds. So there's not going to be as much of a difference there. It's still double, but you're not going to notice that effect as much as you normally would. For the sniper rifles, the joke that we've been seeing around all the time is the M82 is not a one-shot kill nearly anywhere. But it now is, and with the 22.6-inch Tiger Team barrel, it will now be a one-shot kill to the upper arms as well. For the pistols, the Magnum's effective damage range is now 25.4 meters. The fire rate is now 180 rounds per minute. The shotguns, this is a big one. The effective damage range is now 5.72 meters for both shotguns, so you're not going to be one-shotting people in multiplayer unless you're right up next to them. And I don't think either shotgun is going to be a one-shot in Warzone. I think they're both 2. Making the shotgun to use as expected, going to be the Gallo just because it's semi-automatic. But they did decrease the fire rate to 189 rounds per minute. And then they adjusted the barrel attachment and improved the shotguns as well. If we move down to perks, Flak Jacket reduced the explosive damage mitigation. I think this is mostly for hardcore because you could not kill anybody with explosives with hardcore if they're using Flak Jacket, no matter how much explosives you threw at them. Forward Intel, I think this is one of the most underrated perks in the game. It's going to increase the viewable minimap area. Ninja, this is a big nerf. Remove protection from field mic detection, and then you added it to Spycraft. So that the third tier perks in the creative class are now going to be very heavy between Ghost, Ninja, and Spycraft, going to be the ones that people want to use. Myself, I think I'm still going to use Ninja and Ghost. I might add in Spycraft just because the field mic detention, depending on if I'm playing Search and Destroy or something like that. It's going to be kind of like a match-to-match basis based on how many people are using the field mic. Slightly increased the damage to frag, Molotov, stim shot, reduced heal speed. The field mic no longer detects users who are crouched, ADS walking, or swimming. So this helps a lot in games like Search and Destroy, like I just said, whenever people are using field mics more often. If you're crouch walking around, they're not going to be able to hear you. Gas mine increased damage, removed detonation delay, reduced how much a player will be slowed when affected by the gas. So kind of like just a balancing thing there. There's a new score streak, the advanced UAV, and that is it for the patch notes. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. And as a bonus, actually, I'm going to include one more thing. I'm going to give you what I think is going to be the meta in Warzone, and there's an AK-47 build, and we're going to go into a custom game and look at it right now. So this is the build that I'm going to be using in Warzone pretty much all day today. I might adjust it a little bit. I'll let you guys know if I do. But so right now I'm thinking the GRU suppressor, the 18.2-inch takedown barrel, Spetsnaz grip, 50-round mags, and the Serpent wrap for that increased ADS time. And if we test it out here, this thing does not move. I'm not doing anything here. And it's just a laser beam. Not to mention that it is going to be a 7-shot kill only. I don't know where my bullets went, but you guys get the point. This thing is just an absolute beam. You're going to be able to take down people very quickly across the map. It's the fastest time to kill in Black Ops Cold War. It might be the fastest time to kill in Modern Warfare Warzone as well. And with that kind of accuracy, you're just going to be lasering people across the map. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video that I provided today. If you would and you enjoyed it, could you please give it a like? And if you're not subscribed to my channel already and you want to stay ahead of the competition with videos just like this where I show you detailed analysis about stats, time to kill, and everything else, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day.